And we can't wait for that to happen.
Yep. Yep.
BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI.
About the bow, no?
Wow.
Verse 5, if thieves come to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off? Would they not have stolen till they had enough? If the grape gatherers came to thee, would they not leave some grapes?
You see, but him, he's not satisfied.
Man, might as well take the land. Might as well kick you out your own land and take the whole field.
The scriptures say even back in our own land, when there's a year where you don't reap, like you basically give it to the poor, you know. You let them come to the land and take the.
Isn't it everything that falls?
Yeah, there's that too, and there's a special year too. I think it's in Exodus. Let me get that. You know.
Yeah.
But basically, you're supposed to leave some for the poor, you know. You're supposed to leave. This guy takes the we call it the crumbs, man. He leaves you nothing.
But that's just to tell you that how ingenious Yahweh planned everything. You know, he planned this so that everyone could be sustained. You know, it's not just because you have, you know, even those that don't have, you know, they could survive. Not in this society, man. You know, there is rules that, you know, someone would be able to work at someone's house for 7 years, and when he leaves, the owner gives him stuff so he can go out and do his own thing. You know, open his own business. You know. So Esau is a complete demon, man.
Yeah, that's the spirit.
Yeah, man.
The precept, Exodus 21 and verse 2, if thou buy an Hebrew servant, and he's a Hebrew too.
Yeah.
If thou buy an Hebrew servant, 6 years he shall serve, and in the 7th he shall go out free for nothing.
It didn't have to be this way, Esau.
See?
It really didn't.
Yeah, but they don't know the law, man. They don't know, even if they have the book, they just don't get it, man. Chinese to them, man.
The book of Jeremiah chapter 50 and verse 33. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, and all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go.
See? They refused, man. Because how was America great, man? Because of slavery. It's through slavery that America was great.
That's right.
So, you know, so he's like being a wicked demon. You know, I can't let my prophet go, man. If all these slaves, I let them go free, who's gonna work, man? I can't be doing this myself. You know, taking cotton all day, my skin is gonna burn. You know.
You can ask any and all Trump supporters, when was America great? And they can't give you a straight answer, a real answer.
You know, turn around the bush, man. Beating around the bush.
Oh, it's like, when we freed the slaves. We let women work the right to vote.
Oh, okay. So what?
So what's the difference between then and now, or then and before Trump was elected?
Even that, you know, so if 50-50, you should have done that, man. Give him too much power. Even that is off, man.
Yeah, but that's the thing. That's what we hear. That's what we hear.
Yeah.
Esau refuses to let us go. You know, it's crazy because I was watching the damn Harry Potter movies again, and you know how Harry is in his aunt or his uncle's household. Yeah, his aunt's household. And no, it was his aunt. The woman is his mother's sister.
Under the stairs?
Yeah, under the stairs. You know, he's a wizard. You know, just let him go. Let him go to freaking the wizard school or whatever. They didn't want to let him go because they were using him to clean, to cook, all this stuff. Whatever went wrong, they blamed him. And they didn't want to even when he offered it to, you know, I'll leave myself. I'll leave. I'm just being a burden to you guys. Let me just leave. They said, no, you're never gonna leave this room again, because they literally just wanted a little slave.
See?
Damn.
Since that was their own blood, I was just saying, yo, that's Esau right there, bro.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I never thought of it like that or seen it in when I was old enough to actually, you know, understand what was going on.
Esau will reveal himself in so many ways.
But even Esau, man, I don't know. that little kid is a fucking human too, man. He's a wizard, man.
Yeah.
Why would you want to have him around? Yeah? Look at you. It's like this guy talks to snakes and shit like, yo, man, I get this kid far away from me, man.
Serpent.
You see? Yeah, you see? The serpent. They speak the same language. You see? Fudge, man. Yo, shit, man.
And that goes for all nations, really.
Yep.
None of these nations know how to rule. How was the Great Wall of China great? Because it had Israelite slaves building it. Same thing for Arabia. You know, they got Dubai, they got these oil fields. Thanks to the sub-Saharan slave trade, they have all this wealth. That on top of the blessing that they got through being Abraham's descendants. You know?
Continuing on Obadiah verse 6, how are the things of Esau searched out, and how are his hidden things sought up?
The scriptures. That's you won't even know who Esau is if you don't know the scriptures. You see, you won't understand his wickedness if you don't know if you don't read the scriptures.
All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him.
Shalom.
Shall I not in that day, saith the Lord, saith Yahawah, even destroy the wise men out of Edom, and understanding out of the mount of Esau? And thy mighty men, O 10 man to man, shall be dismayed, to the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. In the day that thou stoodest on the other side, in the day that the strangers carried away captives his horses, and foreigners entered into his gates, and cast lots upon Jerusalem, even thou wast as one of them. But thou shouldest not have looked on the day of thy brother in the day that he became a stranger. Neither shouldest thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction. Neither shouldest thou have spoken proudly in the day of distress. Thou shouldest not have entered into the gate of my people in the day of their calamity. Yea, thou shouldest not have looked on their affliction in the day of their calamity.
See, that's why you messed up.
Nor have laid hands on their substance in the day of their calamity. Neither shouldest thou have stood in the crossway to cut off those of his that did escape. Neither shouldest thou have delivered up those of his that did remain in the day of distress. For the day of the Most High is near upon all the heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head.
That's right.
You see?
Just see, whatsoever a man sows, that shall he also reap. So you're sowing wickedness. You're sowing wickedness, so you're going to receive wickedness.
What goes around comes around, man. These are the things the Lord forgot, man.
2 Thessalonians 1:6. Seeing it is a righteous thing with Yahawah to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you. And to you who are troubled, rest with us when YAHAWASHI and MASHAYACH shall be revealed from heaven with his mighty angels. Alright? So
It's a righteous thing.
It's a righteous payback.
Oh, no, man. God is love. God is love. Nah, man. Yo, I don't know what book you're reading, man.
That wouldn't be love. It wouldn't be love if he just let this happen to us and not pay back for what happened to his chosen people.
Right.
Doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, it's not fair that one group of people have to suffer, but the other doesn't. They get away scot-free. They're getting their time to enjoy themselves now. Verse 16. For as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually. Yea, they shall drink, and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they had not been. But upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance, and there shall be holiness.
Upon what?
Upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance, and there shall be holiness, and the house of Jacob shall possess their possession.
We went into the world map. You look into the world map, Esau Edom owns the world, man. So we're taking it back, because the world was made for Israel. No.
Verse 18. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle in them, and devour them. And there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau.
Extermination.
For the Lord hath spoken it. And they of the south shall possess the mount of Esau, and they of the plain the Philistines, and they shall possess the fields of Ephraim, and the fields of Samaria, and Benjamin shall possess Gilead. And the captivity of this host of the children of Israel shall possess that of the Canaanites, even unto Zarephath. And the captivity of Jerusalem, which is in Sepharad, shall possess the cities of the south. And the saviors shall come up on Mount Zion to judge the mount of Esau, and the kingdom shall be Yahweh's.
The kingdom shall be Yahawah's.
I don't know where Bible Project got Esau's going to repent and forgive, and Yahweh's going to forgive Esau and other nations from Obadiah, but that was a complete lie. I didn't hear nothing about the Lord's going to have mercy on Esau, and we're all going to be living, happy-go-lucky and in peace. How are we going to live in peace with a man as greedy and prideful as Esau? And for everything that he's done, how can he not be given due recompense for all that?
Yeah, he added his own little sauce, man, to the scriptures, man. You know? Well, you know what, man? Esau can, but they probably know themselves that they're Esau. You know, because those people, man, those two guys, man, they're in the scriptures. You know, but maybe not that. Maybe the Spirit's not working with them to actually reveal unto them secrets, but you know.
They can say that Esau's going to receive the they listen to the Hebrew Israelites.
You know? Yeah,
Con.
That's true. You know, they listen, but they're trying to hide the facts, man.
The book of Jeremiah chapter 49 and verse 10. But I have made Esau bare, I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not. Leave thy fatherless children, I will preserve them alive, and let thy widows trust in me. For thus saith the Lord, behold, they whose judgment was to drink of the cup have assuredly drunken. See, because we were drunken of that cup, man. We went into slavery, we received the judgment. See, we fulfilled the prophecy of Deuteronomy 28. See? And it says here, and art thou he that shall altogether go unpunished? Thou shalt not go unpunished, but thou shalt surely drink of it. See, so as we drink, they have to drink as well, man.
Even the curses, you're starting to see this now, man. The curses are turning back, the curses that are on us are getting lifted and falling upon the other nations, man. They're starting to suffer all the calamities that we had to go through all these times, man, all these years.
We're going to going to.
Okay, come. The book of Deuteronomy, we'll wrap it up soon. When we go, we'll wrap it up. The book of Deuteronomy chapter 30 and verse 7, and the Lord thy power shall put all these curses upon thine enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee.
The curse is like the curse of being smitten with madness and plagues. Esau got smitten with all these plagues when Edomites got strung out on opioids. You know, and then everyone tried to make a big case about it, like, oh, we should feel bad for them, they should get help. But when Jake was on drugs, on crack, no one felt bad for us. We were just getting locked up, brutalized by police, shunned and completely outcasted. But Esau is supposed to have, when it's Esau, then he wants us to have pity on him. So you're going to take that curse and enjoy it. Because we had to deal with it the whole time.
You know, you're gonna be singing all happy day on that day, man.
The book of Baruch, chapter 4 and verse 31. Miserable are they that afflicted thee and rejoiced at thy fall. Miserable are the cities which thy children serve. Miserable is she that received thy sons. For as she rejoiced at thy ruin and was glad of thy fall, so shall she be grieved for her own desolation.
Ultimately, all they did by going against us is bring upon themselves destruction.
That's right. For I will take away the rejoicing of her great multitude. Woo! For I will take away the rejoicing of her great multitude, and her pride shall be turned into mourning. For fire shall come upon her from the everlasting, long to endure. For fire shall come upon her from the everlasting, long to endure. So when the nuclear missiles are gonna come, man, it's not just gonna be a
One day thing.
yeah, like a quick, you know, oh, they burn, they die. No, man, it says long to endure. They're gonna feel that pain, man.
Oh, okay.
See,
The lake of fire.
the Lord is gonna slow down the time.
They're
They're gonna feel that fire, and she shall be.
The same was known by death by pain.
Yeah, that's right. Come on.
After death by pain. I like that. I love that scripture because it shows you that after there's something after death. You know, there's something else. You know, and for you to understand something by pain after you're dead, that's crazy.
Oh,
You
wow.
see? To understand something by pain when you're dead,
That's crazy.
that's crazy, man.
It says here, and she shall be inhibited of devils for a great time.
Yep. For a great time, yeah, man.
This land is gonna be desolate, man. After the nuclear missile come, so America's gonna be desolate. See? The book of Lamentations. The book of Lamentations, chapter 4 and verse 21, and it reads, Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken and shalt make thyself naked. And what's the cup? The cup of judgment. The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. See, because we served our time, you know. We served our time in prison, you know, which ultimately Babylon, America, is a prison for the Israelites. See, but the Lord is showing favor unto His people, and He's releasing us out of this captivity, starting with this word. You know, we're coming back to our true heritage.
The truth shall set you free.
As Hebrew Israelites. See, it says here, He will no more carry thee away into captivity. Right, so there's no more captivity for the Israelites. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins.
Revelation chapter 9, verse 18. By these three was the third part of men killed, by the fire and by the smoke, and by the brimstone which issued out of their mouths. For their power is in their mouth and in their tails. For their tails were like unto serpents and had heads. And with them they do hurt. And the rest of the men
I mean, you took a long break, man. Go on, man. Let's see
It's
what
them?
he wants, man. What is
them?
it? That's not the guy that was laughing.
It's not them.
The guy with the glasses.
The guy with the glasses?
Oh, but I think he retired, man, from his ministry.
What happened?
Oh, man. He put a mask on, man. It's the master one.
Oh man, I saw that. I didn't say anything, man. I saw that. I didn't say anything.
I know for sure. Ça va bien les amis?
These are leaders in
Les
captivity.
amis, ça va bien les amis?
Attends, j'ai quelque chose pour toi.
Ouais.
J'ai quelque chose pour toi. J'ai quelque chose pour toi. Partage.
Attends une minute. Moi je suis j'embarque quoi, je vais marcher.
Écoute ça, écoute ça, écoute
Ça
ça.
passe pas. Attends 2 secondes. On va baisser la fenêtre. On va écouter.
Revelation chapter 13, verse 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear.
Let him hear.
He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints.
Alright. Yeah, you got it, go, man.
Gotta go. It's not for everyone, man.
Bonne soirée les amis.
Yeah.
Have a good night.
Yeah.
It's not good news.
There you go. It's good news for us, man. It's the patience and the faith of the saints. See? This is what we're waiting on, man. With feathers of iron. Yeah, woo! Yeah, man. It's so
Beautiful verse.
yeah, man.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 9, and verse 11. And it reads, Ecclesiastes 9 and 11, I returned and saw under the sun that the race is not to the swift, nor the battle to the strong, neither yet bread to the wise, nor yet riches to men of understanding, nor yet favor to men of skill, but time and chance happeneth to them all. For man also knoweth not his time, as the fishes that are taken in an evil net, and as the birds that are caught in the snare, so are the sons of men snared in an evil time, when it falleth suddenly upon them. See? So they're going to get caught in the snare, man. Suddenly. You see?
It's a wrap.
Yeah. The Lord said, "You shall come as a thief in the night, man."
Second Ezra 9 and 7. And everyone that shall be saved shall be able to escape by his works and by faith, whereby ye have believed, shall be preserved from the said perils, and shall see my salvation in my land and within my borders. For I have sanctified them for me from the beginning. Then shall they be in pitiful. No, that's it on that. That's it on that. But it's just to say that it's by faith and it's already preordained. Who shall be saved?
By faith and our
By
works
works,
and
yeah.
putting us being out here to preach the lost sheep. That's how we're going to be saved. Not just, being a computer couch Hebrew warrior.
Got Hebrew warrior, man. Yeah, that's a good one, man. You know?
Where all you're doing is just criticizing other brothers who are actually teaching.
You go on your page, man. No videos. See?
Come on.
Right, man.
Where are your breakdowns?
See?
Where are your lessons?
You see?
But you can say, YAHAWASHI isn't the Messiah. You can say, we only deal with Old Testament. We only deal with this. But where are your lessons? Where are your breakdowns?
You know, that was breakdown.
Or some of them say, what are you doing for the community? This is what we're doing for the community.
Come on.
But
The Lord
ultimately,
didn't tell us to go build shelters and buy land, get acres of land and house people. Ultimately, what is that going to do for them?
What happened to Black Wall Street? Because they invested in this world. That's why they got burned down.
Black Panthers.
This says man. This is always gonna find a way to mess you guys up, man.
Exactly. It's not going to work. You can't invest. Building in this society, you're investing in Esau.
Oh, you're investing in death. You're investing in death, man.
It's not going to prosper. Micah 2 and 10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest.
You got something?
The book of Zephaniah 1 and 12. And it shall come to pass at that time that I will search Jerusalem with candles and punish the men that are settled on their lease.
Settled on their lease.
See? And that goes back to the unfaithful servant that had it his talent. See? He's like, you know, I'm behind my thing, you know, masters, you know, just give it back to him. You know?
Wicked and slothful.
Wicked and slothful, yeah, man.
That say in their heart, the Lord will not do good, neither will he do evil.
It's just like getting a firearm. It's just like trying to use Esau's blessing against him. You know? You're trying to use Esau's whatever, you know, what?
Cardinal.
AK.
You know, housing or you know, homeless facilities or you know, anything that this society has to offer you, you can't use it to build us up because it's not rooted in YAHAWAH and YAHAWASHI.
That's right.
You got more people that have faith in their stimulus check than in YAHAWASHI, man.
Exactly. Well, I'm gonna get my stimulus check. I'm gonna start my own business.
And that's a dangerous thing because it will. That's what leads you into thinking that okay, so let me go get my stimulus check, and let me go get my vaccine, and then let me go get my incentive for getting the vaccine and all this other stuff.
The RFID chip.
See?
When is it gonna stop?
This is what it's gonna lead to if you continue to trust in Esau's Esau's doctrine, his facilities, his ideology.
Bro,
It's not going to work unless you have YAHAWAH and YAHAWASHI at the root. And then, once you learn about this, because this has guidance and instructions for how to conduct yourself in business and everything. So you can, the Lord will give you all that after you learn who you are and keep the commandments. You don't need to go learn Forex trading or Robinhood, you know, investments. That's not going to save your people. That might do something for you individually because you're selfish, but that's not going to deliver us. It's not going to give us salvation.
Just to back you up, the book of Isaiah, chapter 31 and verse 1. Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help and stay on horses and trust in chariots because they are many.
Destruction to them that go into Egypt, man. That trusted to Egypt.
All right. Everyone started getting on Robinhood.
Isaiah 31 and verse 1.
Everyone started getting on Robinhood. Now everyone wants to learn how to invest and put $1 in the stocks and learn about the stock market. Following a multitude to do evil because the stock market is nothing but deceit anyway. And fake numbers.
Like the brethren would say, you know. You see the scriptures. It's the best way to be, like the brethren would say, a righteous entrepreneur, man. You know, at the point where you're not going to try to work on the Sabbath, you're going to take your days off, man. You're going to try to be righteous with even your workers, you know?
even in general, like you shouldn't be working about 7 days of the week.
That's Esau's ideology. Elon Musk talking about, oh, you need to work like hell. You need to work harder than everyone else. Have, no breaks. 7-day work weeks, blah, blah, blah. That's the perfect slave mentality. And Esau is the perfect slave. That just shows you Esau's his real role on the earth. He's meant to be a slave. And he's telling other people to adopt that ideology too.
You're not going to call in sick in the kingdom. No way, son.
I know I wasn't the only one who saw.
What happened?
The guy, it's
And Edomites on the car.
just so ridiculous.
He wants to get a stereo too because it was cool. Because Jake made it cool. Jake is
Jake is
short
us.
for Jacob. Like
We're
the
Jake.
descendants of Jacob, Israel.
Oh, there's this.
No,
No.
us.
We just say Jake as in like
Jacob.
like
slang
2/3
term.
Jake. Like Jake is for 2/3, Jacob's for like 1/3. That's like kind of like a inside
Like a slang.
slang, yeah.
So it's a good thing.
Technically not really.
No, it's not.
When I refer to Jake, speaking for myself, I am talking about the 2/3. So an Israelite does not keep the commandments.
Also, you talk about the people that are not keeping the commandments.
Yeah.
That's what they
Yeah.
say.
Yeah, so like these rappers and whatnot, these famous rappers, like
But
they're
are they
Jake.
Israelites? Like, are they Israelites that just don't know the truth?
That they may or may not know the truth, but they just choose
They
not
don't
to.
keep the laws.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a neutral term. Like in general.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they are, yeah.
And in horsemen, because they are very strong, but they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek the Lord.
You see? That's the problem, man. They don't look into their own power, man.
What's the point of building your wealth in this society and learning all these, investments and trading techniques? You don't know how to use it righteously. The Lord wants to build up. Yeah,
Oh, man. We're not making it home tonight, eh? God. Salaka?
you're too comfortable. But what we're supposed to do is learn, get the instructions first, and then the Most High will give you wealth, righteous wealth, to invest it into your own community. So you don't have to go to Esau for all these, all these facilities, all these necessities of living.
You think about the people that win the lottery, man. Well, a couple of years later, they're broke again, man.
Yeah, they don't know what to do with the money.
You see?
We can't just get a bunch of money, That's why the Lord's not going to allow us to have no reparations like that. Because they owe us a lot of money. They owe us a lot of money.
Because at the end of the day, they're not going to invest in their own self. They're going to just give it back to
They're going to go buy
Yeah.
Gucci,
this, that, this,
Prada.
But they're scared of the ones that do invest in themselves.
Khan.
that.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
If
that
we
too.
see,
Yeah.
if we
The
try
smart ones.
to do stuff with ourselves with the ruling class mentality, Esau's going to find a way to break it down.
To kill you, man.
Khan.
Book of Psalms 62 and 10. Trust not in oppression, and become not vain in robbery. If riches increase, set not your heart upon them.
Don't trust.
See?
What scripture is that?
That's the book of Psalms, chapter 62 and verse 10. Trust not in oppression, and become not vain in robbery. If riches increase, set not your heart upon them.
See?
So that means like when he blesses like his people, like not to be so like greedy with the money, or is that what he means?
Trust not in the oppression. Don't trust in the system.
Trust in the Lord.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
Trust not in oppression. Be not vain in robbery.
But what does he mean when the riches increases?
If
Well,
you-
it's for example, like say Lil Wayne, for example, he's rich because of oppression, and he's in oppression. So the
Oh.
oppressor gave him that money, and as his money increases, that's what what's the
Well, he's a
Don't trust
sellout.
him.
He's a sellout, so he uses his platform to further oppress our people by pushing the narrative of, oh, black women are bitches, and I'm that nigga. I'm gonna shoot a op. I'm gonna shoot my own people and all that. He further pushes the negative stereotypes.
There's a rapper called.
Yeah.
There's a rapper called Spot 'em Got 'em.
Spot him, got him. Spot him, got him.
Yeah, bro.
That's a foolery, man. I already know that's a foolery behind the
Spot
name.
'em, I got 'em. Some wild shit like that.
There's a rapper that calls himself Little Nigga.
Bro, it doesn't stop, man.
Yo, all of them, they're agents,
Oh my
man. They're
goodness.
agents. He's a no, because every stupid little song, there's an Issa Edom behind it, making money. You know?
All the
see?
owners of these record labels are so-called Jews.
You see?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's Satan, man. You see? So it's just making us look stupid,
Yeah.
and then
Esau's pushing the
them
narrative.
richer,
Yeah.
Yeah, but ultimately, like, don't trust in your riches. Trust in the Lord, because He's the one that gave it to you in the first place. So if because in this society, money gives you pride. It gives you options. You can do whatever you can do. Opens your doors. So sometimes you might forget. Like Nebuchadnezzar, at one point he was so high and mighty. He said, yo, I got myself this kingdom. I made all this, you know. At the same second, an angel came and he took his wisdom. Took his he started acting like a beast, you know. You know, they left him in the field. He was eating grass like a sheep, you know.
Esau
Did
was
that
walking
because
around
he was
all
an uncle?
Yeah, because in his heart, he said it, he was prideful in his heart. He didn't acknowledge that the Lord put him in that situation. You see?
How much more Esau?
How much more Esau? Oh, Esau doesn't even care 1 second about the Lord.
fickle system. You can't trust the system at all. And it doesn't help to get an education either. Because before Jake had an education, he had what? GEDs, just high school diplomas. He gave us minimum wage jobs, bottom of the barrel work. When Jake started getting educated, indoctrinated really, and getting the degree, the AA degree, the master's degree, you know, all types of qualifications, then Esau made it easier to get high-paying jobs with just a high school diploma. And now you're stuck with student loan debt. So that shows you, even if you get an education that Esau so vehemently suggests that you do, you're still not free. You still have to pay taxes. You still have to go to your 9-to-5 job working for the so-called white man, making little to nothing, barely the cost of living.
There's no salvation with Esau either, man. You end up with like that Bridget for a couple of weeks ago, man. He comes up and he talks to you with complicated words, but he doesn't have no clue what's going on, man.
Yeah. A lot of Jake does that.
The few of them that do get money, that get high-paying jobs and such, then Esau uses that. He basically, it's a bribery pretty much, and then they use Israelites like Candace Owens, Al Sharpton, these NBA players, and they use them to say, oh well, racism. Will Smith. Oh, it's not
Kobe Bryant.
Kobe Bryant. It's not getting worse. It's just getting better.
You'll do like
He's trying to take some sort of complacency in it so that we don't want to try to make some sort of positive change.
You can work your way out, man. That's the image that Esau Edom pushes forth. You know you can, if you start at the bottom, you can make it. You know you got options. It's the American dream, man. You know, soon people are gonna find out it's actually a nightmare, and the whole thing is crumbling down, man. So yeah, you don't want to put your trust in Egypt, like the Bridget was saying, man.
If one person can get it out, if the LeBron James can get out, then you can make it too.
You see?
Hey, you know, it's not that bad, brother. You know, I had to shave my beard. And,
No.
you know, I had to change how I talked and change how I dressed and all. But, you know, I had to do some homosexual things.
Oh, no.
You know, but it's not that bad. You can still make it in this society.
Yeah. Speaking of Lil Wayne and Drake, both of them definitely.
They got popped.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Perfect way. Not so descriptive wording.
You know, that video we showed the other, that woman, she says, man, I don't go for rappers because they're all messed up and they're gay. The video, the two girls, man. She goes in.
The one that needs a boyfriend?